gone for a glug of water. Pre-water. Pre-water to start with.
I've had the water. Right, it's back to normal this time.
Is it? Hello, folks. Welcome to Bluffers to Buffers. I'm Bob.
And I'm Ben, and I like how you had to read that on the screen to remember which way round it goes.
I did it last week, so it's all pro rata and it's all back to how it should be. So what have you been up to? What have we done?
We've done some stuff, Bobby.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Happy days.
In this episode, I've been concentrating on sort of developing the back scene, as it were.
Right, cool.
Also moved up to the railway end of the scrapyard, the ground cover and what have you, which you'll see. Re-engaged the times 600 speed after a leisurely stroll through your tank last week.
I like to show it in its glory.
Yeah, you had a lot of positive comments on there. People crying out for Bob's eye view,
Bev.
in your episodes. So. They like the change.
Did they?
Which is most un-British to like change.
I did it long because I think we're all used to queuing now. Keep us on at home, you know?
I think you might be right, mate.
Yeah.
Very topical.
Excellent.
So yeah, look.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Go.
So it's a little run through.
We've got some build. Look at this.
See, it's come on, isn't it? Actually, as well. Yeah, those coaches. I forgot we've done a bit of that.
Whoa.
Developed a new technique. Well, I haven't
This
developed it.
is
I copied.
really fast.
It is 600 times. So these are those. Remember we did that low relief warehouse that we got from Scale Model Scenery, where there was 4 in the packs. We had 2 left over.
Yeah.
And I ordered some texture pay. I think it's called texture pay. But anyway, it looks like corrugated metal, just
That's cool, isn't it?
printed paper, nice and easy. So just whack some of that on both units. I figured they could be quite modern. Obviously, it needs dulling down, but this, was just for a bit of, just to
get it up and running.
Give it that nudge in the direction of looking something more than it did, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
Is that a bit of old school prick stick?
What stick?
Prick stick. Yeah, it's glue and a stick.
It's the yellow one. What's it called? The yellow one.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
you
never
do.
that posh.
It's better than Pritt stick. It's more grown up. It's a grown up's Pritt stick.
Right. Okay.
Uhu. UHU.
Oh, Yoo-hoo.
Yeah, that. So you had to stick 2 sheets on that long one, as it was just a bit too big.
Yeah.
Now with the shorter warehouse, that I used an offcut, but it hasn't got the weather effect down the bottom, whereas the long one's just got a little bit of like mud splatter and what have you pre-printed onto the.
Oh right.
So we need to add that. Here we got them. You get offcuts of. I don't know what I'm doing there. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's like a bit of fascia board,
Yeah,
is it? Oh,
they come in the kit, just fascias, painted in black with just satin black. That's something quite hypnotic about that. Dabbing glue on there, using
dance music.
Superphatic Deluxe Scenics, I think it's called Deluxe Materials. Sorry, Superphatic glue. The less you use, the better it works. If you put too much on, it never dries really. Whereas if you just put, like I'm doing with a little cocktail stick, just little dabble do ya.
This is what I need. I need some cocktail sticks in my life.
Little dabble do ya.
Is that your thing, is it? Little dabble do ya?
Yeah.
Love it.
The sad thing is, Bob, I was probably saying that to myself in my head while I was doing it.
I can almost guarantee that.
Little dabble do ya.
Just to remind yourself, a little double.
Don't get carried away, because it's easy to get impatient and just whack a load on.
Yeah.
Having a bit more water, how Bob?
Have a bit of water. It's hot today, isn't it?
Very hot today, yeah.
What are you doing here? Some sort of
doorway? So that, I got that shed that I had made.
Yes.
I accidentally broke that roller shutter off of the shed.
Well, that was silly.
So, but it was shut and now converted it to open, so I used the roller shutter there in that unit. I might come back to it and have it open, half open rather than shut.
Okay.
So this, I figured, because there's the roller shutter, you need a little bit of hard standing outside the roller shutter. So this is AK Interactive's concrete effect stuff. So remember we used the tarmac stuff for the road on the main layout. This is the concrete effect, so similar sort of thing, just a slightly different texture.
You splashed a bit down there, look.
Yeah, well, that didn't matter. I was just cleaning the trowel off because I want the rough texture in the scrapyard bit.
Okay.
So I've got that on there. Very impatient I was. Now it's time to get a bit of dust. Get a bit of dust.
Bit of dusting.
So yeah, just carrying on with the genuine floor filth.
I like how the concrete kind of is all broken away and
Yeah, that's the vibe I was going for. But
yeah.
with all of like this, I don't think it pays to be too precise with this kind of thing because nature's not precise. Scruffy people in scrapyards aren't precise. Not saying that people in scrapyards are
I was
scruffy.
gonna say that was a bold statement,
But
being in the industry that we're in.
Well, yeah, I think we can say that. We're in the motor trade and there is an element of scruffiness to the motor trade. Oh, I've got a nice little conversation point in a minute.
Oh right, okay.
So there's that. That's again dust from the floor here at the yard.
Yeah, it's nice bringing a bit of real.
No,
What's
there's
this?
your isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah.
Alcohol. I've had too much of that.
Yeah.
Just soaking in. Again, we dusted a bit over the concrete section as well because dust doesn't stay whence it is.
What's this red and white?
It's good that it's it's a denote a passage of time. Right, so
You've given up with the clock.
yeah, right at this end,
Yeah.
I decided to try a new thing.
Is this the
This is the
train end,
train
isn't
end.
it? The
So-
track would give that away, I suppose, a little bit.
Yeah, hence the presence of the rails. So at this end, I wanted to try a new thing. I thought, let's fire down some fine ballast. So this is N-gauge ballast, basically. So something you'd use on a smaller scale railway. Some people use it on double O because they think the scale's better of the stones. I don't know enough about it, so I don't, whatever. But I've got a few bags that I'd bought, so I thought let's get them used up. A couple of different colours. We've got grey and we've got sort of brown
that's real
one.
fine, isn't it?
Very fine. But it was always my intention to get this down, and you'll see in a bit. It looks like I've got no clothes on it. I have got clothes on it.
I hope you have.
Yeah, of course I have.
The naked modeller. That's not.
It's quick ground cover there. Slopping on the old PVA. It's just normal PVA glue. Nothing exciting.
Nice technique.
Thanks, mate. Plenty on there, and then whack it on there.
Bosh.
Now, because it's not even, I've got high points and low points. I wanted to preserve that because the glue's only going to stick the bottom layer on. So I made my own. Mate, no, it's fine. Diluted water,
Yeah.
PVA glue 50-50, a little dabble do ya of washing up liquid. What? And then you'll notice it's black. Now
What's this?
I bought a couple of a year or two back. Bought a couple of, I think the company was Geoscenics. I'll have to look back, but basically you buy packs for weathering
Yeah.
track, and in the pack you get like a real fine, I think it's tile grout grey. We've used it before. The grey grout, you get an orangey coloured one, and you get this black paint or dye, and you get that on you, and it's on for days. It doesn't come off. It is a real intense black. You're supposed to dilute it. So I've just put a few drops of that black in the glue because, as we've said before, the floor in these places isn't brown. It's generally black. The filth, the oil out of the motors, out of the locomotives.
Yeah.
So that's the vibe I wanted for. And like I say, I wanted to keep the texture of the ballast, so it's high and low in places. So all right, it's stuck to the PVA at the bottom, but now we're doing the same we would as if we were ballasting track. So we sprayed it with isopropyl alcohol to moisten it up, and now I'm just going nuts with the PVA water.
Is that like a little pipette?
Yeah,
thing,
it is a pipette, which I find is the easiest way of distributing it. I tried with a syringe, but it wasn't having it. And you'll note down the bottom corner, I haven't gone all the way to the rails because there's going to be a fence there in due course. But here I am sprinkling that grey sort of grout on now. It's soaking straight into the wet mixture, but that's fine. But
It's just like a fine powder
Yeah.
grout, is it?
but that then gives it changes that you get different kind of textures in the floor. It's not just little stones. You get smooth bits. You get like bumpy bits. So
Yeah.
that, there's the finished.
Nice.
There's some bits of grey there that haven't soaked in the glue, but that's fine because we can come back and weather them. And
There's your little back scene.
some backs in.
You're
We're going to
loving
come.
that,
We're going to
yeah.
come to that in a minute. I'll tell you what. I'm pleased with that bottom carriage that I did. Actually,
Yeah.
that whole thing is a thing. It was only an experiment. And there's that one. Look, half relief. But you know,
It's a good idea.
Yeah, so I think that turned out all right. So now we move on to this little back scene bit that I did here.
Love it.
Obviously, that the one that inspired this, or one of the ones that inspired this, that Jack's one had containers in the background. But I thought, do you know what? Let's have a go at carriages. We haven't really got the space, so I chopped some in half, and away we go. So this technique, I thought I'd show you, Bob, because I think it'd be relevant to your interests, is a multi-layered sort of technique for getting a scrap, tired out look for a carriage, and I think it worked really well, and I'm pleased with it. There's only one thing I'd change.
Is that the outside of the carriage?
It is. So what I've got there, we've missed a couple of steps. I didn't really think about it when I started it. So we've got just a carriage that I've cut in half. I primed it with white primer.
Yeah.
And then picked out all the raised areas with rust.
Yeah.
Now
yeah,
that
like
element I would change. What I used was that stuff that we like, that sort of paste stuff.
Yeah.
But going back, having watched a couple of videos from guys on the internet that know a lot more about this than me, what I'll try next time is some powder mixed with matte coat and thinners. Because the idea is you come back to that later on. So anyway, done that, and now what I've done there is now given it a coat of the colour that I want to be underneath top coat. So we've given it a coat of couple of different shades of grey.
Yeah.
And this is the roof again. You see I've picked out the raised bits with rust. I'm going for a darker grey here, and actually in the end I went with a black as well. Actually no, I did top coat in black, what am I saying? So we've gone over that with grey for the roof, but a slightly different shade of grey. So what you've got there is two sort of, yeah, you can't see the rust bits anymore, although it has got a texture to it, but that's fine. So then we got the old AK Interactive worn effects on there. This time I've brushed it on. Last time, if you remember, Bob, we sprayed it on with not very good effect, not very good. So I brushed it on this time, and I was patient. I left it overnight to dry.
Oh, right.
Because I'm very impatient normally, and I think that is where I have my comeuppance.
This is the hardest thing, is the waiting, especially with paints and stuff.
But I think if I do anything like this in future, I will literally leave it overnight, because it's worth it. So there we go, that's passage time. It's dry. What are you laughing at? So we've mixed up a new shade of knob end blue.
Excellent.
And given it a coat of paint up and down, as in the direction that, you know, the weather would travel down the carriage. Not that matters too much, but just up and down strokes, so that any imperfections or whatever add to the final article. I'm quite pleased with that colour, actually.
It's a nice
It's
colour.
a better shade of knob end blue.
That's the colour you wanted originally, with that bit slightly paler.
Well, that's the colour of my Vauxhall Nova was when I was 18.
Was it?
No.
But it was white.
It was breeze blue, actually.
Oh, right.
A fine colour. Anyway.
Vauxhall Nova. Crazy.
So there we go. I've popped top coat of blue. Look, just giving it a prop up because I want to just get the top bits at the top. In case you were wondering, it's that Vallejo blue that comes in that set. Technical advice there for people. 10 drops of that and 3 drops of grey. In case you want to get your own shade of knob end blue.
Don't be telling it. That'll be
I haven't been specific about that, so I can't remember.
We'll be going to model railways and everything will be knob end blue.
See, here's a thing, Bob, and I know you've had the same problem. Here, I've gone to use Life Colour Weathered Black.
Right.
Now, I really struggle getting the thickness of Life Colour paints, like thinning it down to the right texture. The Vallejo stuff thins down and paints really nicely, but the Life Colour stuff clogs the air gun and you've got nothing coming out of them, a big old gob of it.
Yeah.
And I can only put it down to not thinning it properly. So it's just an observation.
Puts you off using the air gun every now and then.
Well, yeah, but then I went back to the Vallejo and it painted fine. So
see, if I was doing something large like that,
yeah, you do it in a box.
I'd do an aerosol can and do it.
Yeah, but you can't. You won't get the same effects that we're going for. No, it won't.
You
It
saw
won't
how
work.
delicate I was.
Yeah,
last
you were
video.
delicate. I loved it. But so what I'm doing here, I'm just picking out the bottom half in the weathered black or a grey again, because that's sort of where your bogies and that would be normally. So I didn't want that body colour. And also, what's happening there? Look. See, it's just a nightmare with it, mate. It is. I have to look at the videos. So now what I'm doing, once it had all dried, giving it some water on there and getting on with a stiff brush.
And that chipping came through, did it?
Well, this is what you're seeing now. It's pulling the blue off in places.
Definitely. Oh, you've nicked the old toothbrush again, didn't you?
Of course I have, yeah. Give it back. So that's the wife's. I popped it back at the end. So I've got a little stiff brush there, and I've got the toothbrush for just different sort of effects. And, do you know what? Taking more off actually works. It looks better.
Yeah, it does. Looks
And here the intention was pick out those bits of rust.
Yeah.
And what I was going to do, or tried to do, with some thinners, is to pull the rust out so that it sort of streaks down on top of the paintwork. Unfortunately, that didn't work because that jollop that we've got doesn't dissolve in anything. So, didn't work. So next time we'll try it.
I think we discussed this in a week.
Yeah, we did.
I would use the oil stain and just dab it on and give it the effect.
I think
But that's something to try next time, isn't it?
I've got in my head, I've got an real old Battle of Britain or West Country. So for your reference, like Blackmore Vale at Bluebell Railway.
Yeah.
An old one of those shells, and I've seen a picture that I really like, so I'm going to have a go.
Excellent.
I'm going to have a go. That's my little project to myself. There you go. I've done the same technique to the roof.
Yeah.
Trying again to pick out the rust, but it failed. But actually, overall, it didn't turn out too bad. And this is so far my favourite bit of weathering that I've done. I think.
It looks mega.
I'm most pleased
left
with.
The plastic glass in as well. Interesting.
Well, wait, you see, the plastic glass on these is the roof. It's moulded into the roof. These are real old Lima. This, in fact, remember you got that load of stuff from your uncle's mate or your uncle?
Yeah.
Which is one of them carriages.
Ah, right. Yeah. I think they were like mock Pullman.
Yeah, they've been
carriages,
painted up cream and brown. So what I'm doing now, black wash. I was having the same dramas with this again. It keeps sort of separating, so every now and again you'll see it shake. Here we go, a little shake, back, wallop. In all your crevices. Nothing like a bit of black wash in your crevice.
No.
And around the raised areas as well, just to show an accumulation of dirt. And on the ends.
Coming together now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you do a final over lacquer or?
Well, this is it. You'll see in a minute. What am I doing now? Oh yeah, just a bit of black wash down the bottom there.
Yeah.
But the key thing with this is I took a bit of time over it, and all right, it is the culmination of watching other people's ideas. But mate, this is what this is all about, and learning from other people.
Yeah, well, I remember. There was loads of stuff on the Humbrol YouTube channel, not necessarily relating to model trains. It was airfix and all sorts, and there were some great techniques on there.
See, this makes a huge difference as well. That is earth brown, I think, Vallejo. Oh, don't see that!
Whoa,
don't look at that!
I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Why is that still on there?
That's
Tell me when it's gone.
That's not Humbrol. It's Vallejo earth brown.
Is it gone yet?
It's not gone yet. No.
Oh, for goodness sake!
Top and bottom, side to side. Like just along the top line, along the bottom line, a nice bit of brown. I probably could have benefited from putting more on there. Let it dry. Crack your isopropyl alcohol out. Top and bottom with that brown. I probably could have gone on a bit thicker, to be honest. That was after I'd done the satin lacquer as well. We missed that bit out for some reason. I've given the whole thing a coat of satin lacquer. And then put that brown on it.
Graffiti.
I know, and put that's Superfan on Facebook is Mans. That's a little nod to Mans.
Is it?
On
Hello,
Facebook.
Mans.
But just to finish the point, dragging the brown down, just to give it the effect of streaking dirt and what have you. And I think it dulls the whole thing down nicely as well. Makes it not.
Yeah,
not
that's massive because it was quite bright.
Yeah.
So
So
mega.
basically, that's kind of where we got to this week.
Cool. Got some
A
skips.
fair bit of progress. You've done a bit as well, which you will see make an appearance here. Look, I know you wanted your Nissan hut in, so
Oh, you put it on there. haven't
we are fast running out of space already.
Whoa, the
Don't see
things I
that.
shouldn't be seeing.
See, that's a little cheat for you, Bobby. There, just started
well,
a
I
pile
did
of
the other
scrap
ones.
loco bits there. There's your faulty cablet that you wanted.
Is that the new one I did?
Yeah, half relief loco there next to the carriages. I don't know if to do a stack of them, but that means sacrificing quite a few locos, but we'll see. Moving down the front here.
The city one, isn't it?
Popped the fence in there. Steve's trying to repair the fence.
Oh, a little homage there. Look at that.
Yeah, Dog of Bob. Big up, massive jungleistic respect to Dog of Bob.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Little hut there as well. That's quite cool.
I think it's quite a little step. I know you hate that lorry being there because it's well out of period, but you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
No.
It's wrong.
It is wrong. But then you could argue that those warehouse units are probably wrong as well. This is a point I was going to talk about, but we ain't got time to talk about it. No, we'll talk about it next time. No, we'll talk about it next time. We literally ain't got time, but it is an interesting point to talk about. So make a note, talk about that thing next time.
That thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
is the Nissan hut staying there then?
Possibly, possibly.
Okay.
Probably ought to be wrapping up about this point, Bob, I think.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment as usual because we do actually generally enjoy reading the comments. I get Ben to read them to me.
Bob lives for the comments.
How I love it.
Yeah.
And give us a like and follow. We're getting to some good numbers now, folks. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we really appreciate. Tell you what, when we get to 500, Bob, we'll show pictures of our faces.
Mate, we don't want to lose subscribers.
I suppose we won't show. We'll show someone's faces.
They've already seen chipolata fingers in your thigh at some point, so.
On that note,
anyway,
please do tell your friends, like, subscribe. You know, it's all about having a laugh, and that's why we're here, and it's hopefully why you guys are here as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll catch you. I don't know whether there's much. We've still got 20 seconds left. Well, we've got to drag that out.
You can find us at RKE Junction, Red Knob End Junction, and Bluffers to Buffers on the YouTube.
Instagram. Thanks to everyone that's come along the journey so far.
That's beautiful, that is.
Isn't it?
That's beautiful. I miss Dog of Bob greatly already.
Me too.
Bye.